Hi, this is Joe Tracy with TropicoChallenges.com, and today we're going to be using the challenge editor to create a task where the user must create a farm within 2 months, and if they succeed, they'll be given $10,000. If they fail, $10,000 will be subtracted from their treasury. So hopefully this will help you learn how to do tasks within time periods and how to give rewards and how to take things away if they don't achieve the task you've given them. So let's start selecting challenges, then manage. And this is a new challenge here, so I'm just going to type in build a farm. There we go. Click OK. And it doesn't matter what island we select here, since this is just a tutorial. Now the first thing that's going to load here is the map editor, and of course this is where you can change buildings, move things around, work on the terrain and all that stuff. But what we're interested in right now is the sequence editor. So select sequences, and then over here under sequences right click and select new sequence. So what we're doing here is we're about to create a sequence where the person has to build this farm. This name up here, we need to give it a name. This is just for you to remember. The user's not actually going to see this name, so I'm just going to type in farm or else, and that's my reminder. For the start year, I'm going to type in 1950. 1950 by default is when the game starts, and I want this task to come up immediately when the game starts. So we're just going to leave that there. Now that we have that information, we're going to double click farm or else. And this is going to bring us to our actions area where we can add the different actions for this sequence. And by the way, if you want to get back to that other screen we were on, just double click farm or else again and it'll take you back. Alright, so for our first action, we're going to go to objectives and we're going to select new task with progress. And this will allow us to create a time challenge. The first thing we want to do is change the task ID to something easy to remember about what the challenge is. So let's just say build farm. Then we're going to select the actor. For this one, let's select the USSR. And on-screen icon, let's select foreign. Now the title, the user will see. So in this case, we're going to put build a farm immediately. And the text is what the USSR person is saying to the user. So in this case, comrade, the USSR needs you to build farms and houses to make your island more appealing to invade. If you build your first farm within 2 months, we will give you $10,000. If you fail, we will subtract $10,000 from your treasury. Okay, the summary here is the short text that is going to appear on the task label. So you want this to be something really short and to the point. Build a farm. That's the task. We can skip these other things and scroll down here to value. For the label, you want to select what it is that they're supposed to build, and in this case a farm. So what we're telling them is we want them to build one farm. And we want them to do it within 2 months. So we're going to change the time limit to 2 months. Okay, now let's select wait task completion and let them know that the timeout for this task is also 2 months. Now that we have those set, it's time to create the conditions. As you recall, they'll be rewarded if they complete it, and they will not be rewarded if they don't. So let's go over here to conditions. Select check task state, and remember the task ID, very important. You want to build farm, And for the state, let's start with done. All right, so what we're saying is if the task build farm is completed, then this will happen. And in this case, we said that we're going to give them $10,000. So let's go give money, 10,000. All right, so 10,000 will be added to the player's treasury if they complete the task. So if the task is completed, we want to say go no further in the sequence. You're done. So let's go to other and select exit. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go through this again. We're going to select conditions. We're going to select check task date, and we're going to put in our ID. And this time we're going to say if they fail this task, then this is the consequence. Gameplay, give money. This time, instead of typing in, 10,000, just put a negative right before it. And as you can see, it now says 10,000 will be subtracted from the player's treasury. And once again, we want to tell it to exit this sequence when it's done. So there you go. We've now successfully created this. Let's save it by clicking the save icon here. And let's go try it out. So let's go back here to our Tropico 4 screen. And let's save and test. Okay, comrade, the USSR needs you to build farms and houses to make your island more appealing to invade. If you build your first farm within 2 months, we will give you $10,000. If you fail, we will subtract $10,000 from your treasury. And as you can see, here's our message, build a farm. We have 2 months left. So let's get that farm built. Alright, so this is what happens if we successfully complete this. Boom. $10,000 has been added to your treasury, and as you can see, that is indeed the case. Alright, well, what happens if we don't complete it in time? So let's restart this. Alright, the USSR needs you to build farms, okay. Let's just fast forward and let the time expire and see what happens. Look around the island here while we're waiting. Okay, we only have 1 month left. And that is going to be gone real quick here. $10,000 was subtracted from your treasury because the time limit elapsed. So there you go. You have successfully set up this challenge. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something good from it. And if you want to see some more tutorials, feel free to visit tropicochallenges.com. I'm Joe Tracy. Have a great time programming.